The sky was unusually still that night, an eerie calm that draped over every continent like a held breath. Cities glittered beneath stars, oblivious to the silent shadow creeping closer in the void beyond Mars. No alarms blared, no warnings flashed, only an unsettling stillness, as if the cosmos itself was watching. At the heart of Earth's capital, the Global Space Command hummed with routine activity, unaware that everything was about to change. Then, without warning, the main communication. Screens flickered and went dark. The room plunged into murmurs, followed by the chilling crackle of a transmission, alien in tone, ancient in cadence, and urgent beyond comprehension. "We speak for the Galactic Tribunal," the voice intoned, a chorus of voices layered with authority and warning. "Earth has strayed beyond its bounds. Leave this sector or face judgment." World leaders convened in panic, dismissing the message as an elaborate hoax or psychological warfare. Humanity had faced threats before, and overcome them. But when unmanned probes sent toward Mars vanished without a trace, and satellites began to fail one after another, doubt settled like a thick fog. Then the ships appeared. At first, just a handful, monoliths of dark metal, larger than any known vessel, hovering silently beyond the red planet. They shimmered with a cold blue light that seemed to absorb the very sunlight, casting deep shadows against the blackness of space. Scientists scrambled to decipher their technology, but every probe sent in response was swallowed whole, leaving behind only silence. Back on Earth, the tension was palpable. News anchors struggled to maintain composure as cities across the globe watched the skies nervously. Social media exploded with speculation and fear. Were these invaders, observers, or something worse? Major cities activated emergency protocols. Soldiers and civilians alike braced for the worst, but no one knew what that would be. In a quiet suburb, Captain Maya Reyes stared up at the night sky, the blue glimmers reflecting in her eyes. A veteran of countless drills, she felt a cold knot of certainty tighten in her gut. This was no routine threat. Something ancient and unforgiving had come for Earth's honor. Her unit was mobilized instantly. Orders were terse: observe, report, hold position. Yet Maya knew the real battle was just beginning. Suddenly, Earth's defense satellites flickered, then exploded one by one, their orbits shattered by unseen forces. The fragile shield protecting the planet wavered, exposing cities to the silent, menace lurking just beyond the atmosphere. At the International Space Station, Commander Wei Jin watched alarms blare and systems fail. With a grim face, he initiated emergency protocols, warning Earth's leaders that the calm was a lie, a prelude to devastation. Back on the ground, the first flashes of alien energy bolts ripped through the upper atmosphere, striking military outposts and communication arrays. The sound of distant explosions echoed like thunder, shaking the foundations of humanity's sense of safety. Yet, amid the chaos, Maya's squad held their ground, fighting with whatever weapons they had left, against the sleek, unyielding alien. Drones, their bullets seemed futile, but human grit burned brighter than any laser. "Hold the line!" Maya shouted over the comms, voice steady despite the inferno unfolding around her. "We fight for Earth. We fight for honor." As night bled into dawn, the alien fleet remained silent but looming, a dark promise hanging over the planet. Humanity's future, once certain, now balanced on a knife's edge between annihilation and defiance. And somewhere in the vastness of space, the Galactic Tribunal watched, waiting to see if Earth would bow or rise. The sun had barely risen over the horizon when the world changed forever. Across continents, the sky erupted in a silent, deadly storm, crimson streaks of alien plasma slashing through the atmosphere, ripping apart satellites, power grids, and defenses. Cities once vibrant and alive became darkened skeletons, their lights extinguished as panic surged like wildfire. In New York, skyscrapers trembled as underground tunnels shook from distant blasts. The streets flooded with frightened crowds, eyes wide, voices screaming, searching for answers that did not come. Captain Maya Reyes's squad scrambled to hold a military outpost near the city's edge. Their weapons, standard-issue rifles and hastily modified alien tech, were paltry shields against the precision and cold brutality of the invaders. The enemy moved like shadows, drones faster than the eye could track, silent as death. Each attack was a calculated strike. No wasted energy, no mercy. The ground troops were forced into guerrilla tactics, ducking behind rubble, firing blind bursts, and retreating when overwhelmed. "Command, this is Reyes," she whispered into the radio, voice tight with exhaustion. "We're taking heavy fire. Communications are patchy. Requesting reinforcements." Static crackled back. "Hold position. Evacuation protocols on standby." Maya clenched her jaw. There would be no evacuation. Not today. Meanwhile, in the command centers of Earth's remaining governments, fear gave way to bitter realization. The alien assault wasn't random. It was a message, a calculated effort to shatter humanity's will. But in the shadows, something unexpected flickered. Private. Thomas Vega, a young recruit with more courage than experience, stumbled upon a downed drone emitting faint signals. With trembling hands, he hacked into its systems, revealing encrypted data, coordinates, schematics, and what appeared to be a weakness, a strange energy pulse that interfered with their shields. His discovery spread like wildfire through rebel and official ranks alike. Humanity had a chance, a slim one, to strike back. Back on the streets, civilians fought alongside soldiers. Makeshift weapons and sheer determination turned into a surprising force. Mothers and fathers, engineers and teachers, united by the primal need to protect their home, defied despair. Maya watched a group of civilians arm themselves with scavenged equipment. "This isn't just a war of guns," she said quietly. "It's a war of spirit." Yet the aliens remained merciless. As night fell, another wave descended, this time closer, faster. Explosions ripped through the city's heart, black smoke blotted out the stars, and the air filled with the acrid smell of burning metal and earth. Amidst the chaos, a mysterious figure appeared, a lone alien, battered but alive, who reached out to humanity, not with weapons, but a warning. "My people fear what you become," the alien rasped, voice cracked yet earnest. "The war you fight is older than you know, but there is another path, if you dare to take it." Maya hesitated, the weight of choice heavy on her shoulders. Trusting the enemy was dangerous, but so was ignorance. As the first stars of dawn pierced through the smoke, Earth stood battered but unbroken. The fight had only begun, and the cost of failure was unthinkable. The cold silence of the underground bunker was shattered by the faint hum of alien technology. Captain Maya Reyes stood at the threshold, her pulse quickening with a mix of suspicion and hope. The rogue alien, called Saren by the humans, had led them here, deep beneath the shattered ruins of what was once a thriving city. "This way," Saren whispered, voice rough but urgent, guiding Maya and her squad through labyrinthine corridors bathed in eerie blue light. Every step echoed with the weight of unseen dangers. Trust was a currency far too precious and fragile. Saren's revelation was staggering. Earth's fight was not just a random invasion, but a reignition of an ancient cosmic war. The invading species, the Vorath, viewed humanity as unpredictable and dangerous, a wild card in a galactic order maintained by strict rules and alliances. "Your species adapts," Saren explained, "and that terrifies them. But there are others who see potential in you, potential to change the future." Inside the cavernous chamber they entered, holographic star charts flickered to life, projecting constellations and battlefronts stretching across the galaxy. Humanity, was a pawn caught between titanic powers. But the truth was more unsettling. The Galactic Tribunal, the shadowy council warning Earth, was not just a distant judge. It was a tribunal that had centuries ago stripped Earth of an ancient weapon, a power so vast it could either destroy worlds or safeguard peace. The weapon had been deactivated, hidden away, its existence erased from memory, until now. Maya's eyes narrowed. Why reveal this to us? Why help us? Saren's gaze darkened. Because if the Vorath succeed, they will use your world as a warning to all who defy their rule. We do not want that future. But to stop them, you must first reclaim what was lost. Suddenly, alarms blared. The bunker trembled as a Vorath strike team breached the outer defenses, their cold alien armor gleaming with deadly precision. "Prepare to defend," Maya commanded, rallying her squad as blaster fire lit the hallways. The clash was brutal, human determination against alien efficiency. Amid the chaos, Maya saw Saren hack into a control panel, desperately trying to unlock the chamber housing. The ancient weapon. The battle raged, bodies falling, the air thick with smoke and desperation. Just as the Vorath closed in, the heavy doors hissed open, revealing a vast chamber filled with dormant machinery humming with latent power. Maya stepped inside, awe mixed with fear. This was Earth's forgotten legacy, an arsenal of unimaginable might, but power came with a price. Saren warned, "This weapon is not just destruction. It demands wisdom. It will test your resolve and your honor." As the last alien attacker fell, Maya looked to her team, battle-weary but unbroken. The choice was clear: awaken the ancient force and face the consequences, or watch Earth fall into shadow. Outside, the stars blinked coldly, watching. The fight. For Earth's honor was no longer just a battle. It was a reckoning. Mars was bleeding red, not just from its dusty storms, but from the flames of war. Captain Maya Reyes watched the horizon through cracked visor glass, the jagged silhouette of the alien outpost etched against the ochre sky. Her squad crouched, behind battered rover hulls, breathing shallow, their nerves razor-thin. This was no longer a fight for Earth alone. It was a gamble on the red planet's barren surface that could change the fate of humanity. "Remember," Maya whispered into her comm, "this isn't just a strike. It's a message. We take their foothold here, and we show the galaxy Earth fights back." The Martian wind howled as they moved. Dust swirled in thick, choking clouds, masking their approach. Every step was a razor's edge between survival and annihilation. The alien base loomed ahead, a fortress of obsidian metal, angular and cold, pulsating with eerie blue lights. Automated sentries scanned the horizon, their sensors far beyond human capability. But Maya's team had one advantage: desperation fused with cunning. Private Thomas Vega, the young recruit who had cracked the drone's code, led the way. "I've mapped their patrol routes," he said, voice tight with focus. "We hit the southern perimeter. There's a weak spot in their shield matrix." Maya nodded. "Good. Let's move." As they slipped closer, a sudden pulse rattled. The ground! The alien sensors detected movement. Spotlights slammed on, illuminating the Martian plains like harsh daylight. "Contact!" a soldier shouted. Plasma bolts arced toward the squad, each blast sending red dust and rock fragments flying. The battle erupted in a chaos of fire and steel. Maya ducked behind a ruined rover, returning fire with ferocity. The drones were relentless, fast, precise, and seemingly without fear. But humans fought with something alien machines could never possess: unpredictability. Maya signaled a flanking maneuver. Using debris as cover, her squad circled the base, exploiting gaps Thomas had found. Explosions rocked the fortress, alarms screaming their fury into the thin Martian air. Inside the base, the Vorath commanders scrambled, adjusting defenses. But the human assault was surgical, blinding strikes that tore through their systems. Suddenly, the ground trembled beneath their feet. The base's core reactor began to pulse violently. A countdown ignited. "Fall back!" Maya ordered, grabbing Thomas's arm as they sprinted toward extraction points. Explosions ripped through the base, sending shockwaves across the Martian surface. Red dust clouds swallowed the wreckage, masking their retreat. Breathless and battered, Maya watched the alien fortress crumble. A symbol shattered. "We did it!" Tomas gasped. "Not yet," Maya said grimly. "They'll come back, harder, faster." As night fell over Mars, the victory tasted bittersweet. Earth had struck a blow, but the war was far from over. In the silence between battles, a question gnawed at Maya's mind. What price would humanity pay to reclaim its honor? Beneath the shattered remains of the alien fortress on Mars, an ancient secret lay buried, a secret that could turn the tide of war or doom humanity to oblivion. Captain Maya Reyes wiped the dust from her faceplate as she stepped cautiously into the cavernous chamber. The air was thick with silence, broken only by the distant hum of machinery awakening from centuries of slumber. Around her, the walls pulsed with faint blue light, ancient symbols etched deep into alien stone glowing softly. The technology here was unlike anything Earth had ever seen, futuristic and archaic, as if it belonged to a civilization that had long since vanished into the stars. "This must be the weapon Saren spoke of," Maya whispered, voice echoing off the high ceilings. Private Thomas Vega examined the control panels, his fingers tracing the alien glyphs. "These symbols, they're a language, but also a lock. Whoever built this didn't want it to be used lightly." Suddenly, the ground trembled beneath them. The cavern's hum grew louder as dormant systems flickered to life. The ancient weapon was awakening. Maya's squad moved deeper into the chamber, tension coiling tight in their chests. The weapon was not just a tool of destruction. It was a force that demanded respect, discipline, and above all, honor. In a central dais, a massive crystalline core glowed with pulsing energy, its light casting long, shifting shadows. As Thomas interfaced with the control console, holographic images projected into the air. A war long past, fought between titanic alien empires with Earth caught unwittingly in the crossfire. "This is more than a weapon," Maya said, awe mixing with fear. "It's a legacy." But the echoes of the past were not silent. Suddenly, the cavern doors slammed shut behind them. Alarms blared, red lights bathing the chamber in a hellish glow. "The Vorath," Saren's voice crackled in Maya's ear. "They've followed you here." The squad readied for another fight, this time not just for survival, but for control of a power that could decide the fate of worlds. As alien forces poured into the chamber, Maya realized the true cost of awakening this ancient might. The weapon demanded not just strength, but wisdom, and if they failed the test, it would consume them all. With bullets flying and energy crackling, Maya faced a terrifying truth. Some legacies are shadows, and some powers come with chains. The fight was no longer just for Earth's survival, it was for its soul. The war was no longer just fought against alien invaders, it was tearing humanity apart from the inside. In the grand hall of Earth's provisional government, heated voices echoed off cracked marble walls. World leaders, military commanders, and desperate civilians crowded the chamber, their faces etched with fear and fury. "Total war," one shouted, pounding his fist on the table. "We cannot surrender even an inch. We must retaliate with overwhelming force." "Peace talks," another countered, voice trembling. "We must find a way to stop this without destroying ourselves." Captain Maya Reyes stood quietly in the back, watching the division grow like a cancer. The alien threat pressed closer, each day, yet her own people were fracturing under the strain. Outside, streets overflowed with protests, some calling for peace, others demanding revenge. Families torn apart by fear and anger, soldiers torn between orders and conscience. Maya's radio crackled. "Reyes, command to all units. Maintain position. No escalation until further notice." But whispers of rebellion and betrayal spread, faster than orders could contain. Some factions saw the alien attack as a chance to seize power, others as a call to unite under a new, harsher regime. In the midst of this chaos, a shadowy figure moved through the corridors, an insider leaking classified information to the Vorath, threatening to unravel Earth's defenses from within. Maya's mind raced. Could humanity survive the external enemy if it could not heal its internal wounds? That night, as dark clouds gathered over the capital, Maya met with a small group of trusted allies beneath the city. Their faces were grim, their voices hushed, but urgent. "We can't wait for the politicians," she said. "If we don't act, Earth will fall, not to their weapons, but to our own fractures." Plans formed in whispers, sabotage, espionage, and covert strikes designed to protect what was left of humanity's hope. But trust was a fragile thing. As the alien fleet darkened Earth's skies, Maya looked out at the horizon, a storm brewing. Both outside and within, the fight for Earth's honor was now a battle for unity, because divided humanity was lost. The night sky was torn apart by streaks of crimson fire, distant explosions echoing like thunder over the scarred Earth. Captain Maya Reyes stood atop the shattered ruins of the old Global Space Command headquarters, eyes fixed on the horizon, where the alien fleet massed like a storm ready to break. This was it, the moment humanity had been preparing for, fearing, fighting towards. "Ready your squads," Maya ordered, voice sharp and unwavering despite the weight pressing down on her chest. "Tonight, we make our stand." Her team moved with a tense urgency, every step laden with the knowledge that failure meant extinction, not just for them, but for all of Earth. On the front lines, human soldiers, battered but unbroken, took up their positions amid the ruins and ruined technology salvaged from shattered ships. The weapon they had awoken beneath Mars, the ancient power that had tested their honor, was now the beacon of hope, pulsating with energy that stretched across the battlefield. But the Vorath were no longer the same faceless enemy. Their commanders had grown desperate, ruthless. They unleashed waves of drones and beasts bred in shadow, creatures designed to crush resistance and break spirits. Maya's squad fought fiercely, every clash a brutal dance of survival and defiance. Amid the chaos, Private Thomas Vega operated the ancient weapons control console, weaving its strange power into the battle, disrupting alien shields and turning tides. Suddenly, the ground shook violently as a massive Vorath warship descended, dwarfing everything around it, its energy cannon charged, aiming to obliterate the heart of Earth's defenses. "Take it down!" Maya yelled, rallying her squad to coordinate a desperate assault. The final battle was a maelstrom of fire and fury, laser bolts carving scars in the sky, explosions tearing through the ground, and the roar of determined voices rising above the chaos. As the ancient weapon surged to full power, Maya made a choice, a gambit that risked everything. She dove into the warship's core, navigating corridors, twisted with alien tech, facing enemies that seemed to anticipate her every move. At the heart of the ship, Maya confronted the Vorath commander, a towering figure of cold menace. "Your fight ends here, human," the commander hissed, voice like grinding steel. But Maya's defiance burned brighter. "Earth's honor isn't yours to claim." With a final, desperate strike, Maya activated the weapon's core, unleashing a surge that ripped through the warship and the alien fleet. Outside, the sky lit with blinding light as the Vorath forces shattered, retreating into the void. Silence fell. The cost was staggering, but Earth had endured. Maya collapsed, exhaustion and relief washing over her. The war was won, but the scars remained, reminders of the price paid for honor. The first light of dawn spilled over the shattered skyline of Earth, a world scarred but alive. Captain Maya Reyes stood on the ridge overlooking the ruins of the final battlefield, her uniform torn and stained, yet her eyes burning with quiet fire. Around her, survivors gathered. Soldiers, civilians, and allies who had once been strangers, but were now bound by something stronger than blood: honor. The air was heavy with the smell of smoke and dust, but beneath it lay a fragile hope. The war had ended, not with a triumphant cheer, but with a solemn understanding of what had been lost and what must be rebuilt. Maya's radio crackled softly. "All units report status." One by one, voices answered, hoarse, tired, but alive. The Vorath had retreated, their fleet shattered and broken. Earth's honor was intact, but the victory came at a steep cost. Cities lay in ruins, families torn apart, futures uncertain. Yet, amidst the devastation, a new chapter began. In the distance, the ancient weapon's core glowed softly, a beacon not of war but of peace. Its power was no longer a threat, but a promise that humanity would never again be a forgotten force. Saren, the alien who had once been their guide and betrayer, now stood beside Maya. His gaze was distant, shadowed by memories of a war he wished had never come. "Your species has a fire few can match," he said quietly. "You fought not just for survival, but for your soul." Maya nodded, her heart heavy but resolute. "Earth will heal, and we will be ready, next time, and every time after." As the sun climbed higher, survivors began to rebuild, raising homes from rubble, planting seeds in scarred soil, stitching together the torn fabric of their world. The galaxy had witnessed humanity's stand, a warning and a promise. Humans were not merely survivors or pawns. They were warriors with honor, and Earth, scarred, defiant, unyielding, had earned its place among the stars.